Okay, I think the live stream is up and running. I'm just getting my second screen sorted out so I can monitor if I have any questions alongside the live stream. So welcome this evening to Flight Simulator 2024. We are at Nice Airport in the Côte d'Azur, south of France. We have the working title, Inibuilds calibration Boeing 707 in front of us, and we're going to try and fly it a bit more correctly this evening than the first flight I did with it, where I was very much finding my way. But I've now kind of done some book learning, done some research, worked through starting the airplane up properly, worked through how to operate the airplane properly. That said, we are going to be using the version with the Garmin GNS 530 this evening just to make our life a little bit easier. In videos to come over the next several days, I will be looking at some of the other guidance systems available in the aircraft, so it should be good fun. Okay, let's go and jump inside the cockpit. So, in order to get the airplane up and running today, first things first, we are running SayIntentions in the background. So all of the interactions you hear from me with air traffic services, I will be talking to artificial intelligence in the cloud run by SayIntentions. They are also injecting all of the aircraft around us in the airspace. So when you hear other pilots talking over the radio, it's not made up. Those are the intelligent conversations happening between those air crews and air traffic services in exactly the same way that we will talk to them. And you will hear the request response procedures going on in the airspace around us. So in order to get the aircraft up and running, I'm going to be following my own functional procedure. And I've been writing this up, and I've kind of gone through all of the procedures that came with the airplane, and I've distilled them down to the essentials. So I've shortened them quite a lot. And if we go and have a look in a browser, we can see you can get a copy of this from Ko-fi. There is a link in the notes of the video or the live stream. There's also a link to SayIntentions. You can get a free trial of SayIntentions if you like what you're hearing. And then that obviously can turn into a full subscription to SayIntentions if you really like it. And to be honest, everybody I know that's tried SayIntentions has ended up loving it and couldn't fly without it anymore. But anyway, this is where you can download the functional procedure that I'm going to be running through. If you want to see what it actually looks like, I'm going to show you it right now. This is the original copy of it in my copy of Google Docs. So look, it runs to 17 pages. Can you believe that? So it goes through, obviously helping you setting up custom views if you wish to. You don't actually need to, but the guidance is there anyway. It tells you about doing walk around. You need to go and remove the shocks. I've already done that for us. And then it goes into the procedure itself. So you can see it tells you along the way what the best keyboard key is to press to use a default view to get to the place you need to go and do something. Then it tells you where to look in that view. And then it tells you what to do, even down to whether you're rolling a mouse wheel or clicking, or, it gives you very obvious guidance. So if you've not been in the airplane for ages, it's going to do very well at leading you by the hand through everything you need to do. Now, I have changed some of the official ordering here and there where I know it makes no difference to simplify jumping around the cockpit like Spider-Man, because in the real world, there's the pilot and the co-pilot working in concert with one another. In the simulator, we're working on our own. So I've changed a little bit of the ordering here and there just to simplify it. Okay, so as you come down, you can see getting things ready. There are a number of conditional bits. I've included all of the navigation systems in here in the procedures. So not only am I showing you how to get the Civ-A INS system up and running, also showing you the UNS system and the Garmin. So as you come down, you can see we're getting things ready, going around the aeroplane, doing things. And then suddenly, look, if you're using the Garmin, do this bit. If you're using the Civ-A, do this bit. If you're using the UNS one, do this bit, and so on and so forth. And it just walks you through then, starting the engines in the right order, doing the post-engine start procedures, so getting the rest of the hydraulics and everything up and running, preparing to taxi, actually taxiing, lining up for takeoff, and then some cursory notes. Notice once you get to takeoff, I don't go into as much depth, so this is kind of taking it as read that by the time you get to the runway, you probably know your way around the aeroplane a little bit. So, I'm going to close that out of the way, close the link to that. So we've got our Simbury flight plan, which we might refer to along the way. I am running both Little Nav Map and Navigraph in the background, so along the way we may end up using them just to, to illustrate where we are, or to understand when we're giving taxi clearance, or for example of how to use that. So one other thing I'm using in the background, which is part of SayIntentions, is their mobile app, which is absolutely wonderful, and it should allow me to select radio channels. So we're going to be trying that out along the way. So at the moment I'm tuned into 118.01, and we would be able to see that if I had the radio, but when we get as far as trying things out, we'll try the SayIntentions mobile app out. Now the one thing that'll be really nice about that is it means I won't have to keep popping up SayIntentions in front of you to see what the controllers have said, or to change radio channels. So that should be a nice thing for you guys, so it doesn't break the experience so much. Okay, so let's go and get the airplane started, shall we? Shift and 8 takes us over to the top of the engineer's station, and we're going to go and turn the battery on in the airplane. And we're going to go and rotate, oh actually I've already rotated, look, the meter here to bat to show us what volts we've got available. Then we can press Shift and 0 to come down to the side where the auxiliary power unit controls are, and we can flick that up to start, and you'll see the auxiliary power unit advance round. So we wait for it to get beyond 90%. If we go and jump outside, you'll actually should, I think, is it above the, I can't remember where the port is on this aeroplane. Oh, here we go. You can see it coming out over here. So that should be coming around to 90 now, and it has. So we can turn the generator on for the APU, and then we can turn on the bleed air valves, and they will give us the compressed air to spin up the gas turbines a bit later on. So before we go any further, we have to go back to that overhead section, and we're looking for AC paralleling, which is here. And we're going to rotate this round to APU, and then Shift and 0 will take us over to, oh, sorry, we should have done that before this. I've done things a little bit out of order there. And Shift and 8 then takes us back up overhead. We can Shift and 7 above the. I'm not following my own instructions now, because I've realised I've gone a little bit out of step. It doesn't matter. So we're going to turn on the master radio switches. This is the reason in my first flight in the airplane I couldn't get the comm radio to work. If these switches are not on, then these dials will not work on the Garmin. Okay? So that's tip number 1. Shift and 7 takes you overhead. You have to have the master radio bus switches on. Okay? It also means you won't have the VOR radios working properly. So Shift and 3 brings us down to look at the systems down here, so we can go and get the GPS booted up while we're running around the cockpit. So Shift and 6 will take us back overhead. No smoking and seatbelt signs need to go on, so they are here. The yaw damper is down here and needs to go on. Exterior lighting, wheel well, goes to on, and navigation goes to on. If I can find it, navigation, there we go. Flight recorder up here goes to on. The emergency exit lights need to go to armed and covered. The engineer station again, air conditioning and pressurizations at the top right. We're going to go and lift the bar for the moment. We are going to turn this back off again a bit later. It's a bit counterintuitive, but there are good reasons for doing it. So back in the cockpit, we're going to calibrate the altimeters. So press comma. I think they're already looking good, actually. Set the HSI heading bug as required. So we're going to go and pop the yoke off for the moment, just out of our view, so we can see down here. We need to look at our chart. We're going to be taking off runway 04 right, so 42 degrees we want on the heading. So there's 30, and there's 40, and there's 2. And we'll also set the course to match that for the moment. Okay, and we also need to go and look at this switch down here. We're going to be using GPS navigation along the way, so we're going to flick that switch up. Okay, we're also going to wind the clock up. So we're going to roll our mouse on this. Is it going to work? It should be accurate. And we can push this to flick between it starts ticking, or you stop it, or you can reset it. Okay, so we're going to leave it like that as it is. So HSI source, yeah, we've already done the HSI source. And shift and space, we're going to go over to the Boeing 707 app next. And we're going to go and look at the data cards tab. Now, I haven't actually loaded the aeroplane properly yet, but we're going to go with what we've got. So the interesting thing here to show you is set bugs. So if you watch here and we say set bugs, they will always round. Okay, so the thing I should have done first really is go back to the aeroplane, go flight performance, mass and balance, go to the fuel, and go and fetch this from Navigraph. So I'm going to go and show you a trick. So if you go into your apps, if you've got Navigraph installed, you can go to Navigraph charts, and we can go to flights. I've already got it loaded actually, so we've got the flight loaded. And we should be able to push this across to the simulator, and I have to try and remember how to do it. Let's close that chart. So there's the flight. Actually, let's do it all the way through. So just for your own interest here, I'm going to forget how this works now, aren't I? Airports, flights, search, and it's now putting dialogues up I don't want in front of me. Flights, unload, new flight. And I don't want to do it this way. This is going to be a real pain, isn't it? Have we got it in here? Here we go, SimBrief dispatch. This is what I'm really looking for. So we're going to do a SimBrief dispatch. So if you go to more apps, if you've got SimBrief and SayIntentions installed, you can do a SimBrief dispatch. I'm signed in as me. Okay, so I'm going to do new. And we'll get this flight to replan itself. This is worth looking at. So we're going to go, we're Pan Am. So PAN, oh, I didn't want to do that, 073. We're going from Nice, which is, if we go and have a quick look, LFMN. LFMN. We're going to Heathrow, which is EGLL. And we are using the Boeing 707. So there it is. So it's doing the usual stuff that SimBrief would do. And we can then generate the flight plan. And here's the important bit that I wanted to show you all along. We can import the route. So when we do that, it says importing SimBrief flight plan, please wait. That's done. Okay. Import weights. That's the other thing that I wanted it to do. So it's going to put the right fuel in the aeroplane to do the route. So if we go and look in here, we've now got the route 04 right, you know, all programmed through. And the trick being, from doing that, we can then send this to the avionics. Yeah, so we've got the GNS down here. And you can see, I think it's already done it, to be honest. So if we zoom out, let's see what route it's given us. If we go and compare what that looks like against Navigraph, so we unload what we had here, we import from SimBrief that one, and that's exactly the same. That matches. Yeah, so it's already loaded it. So we don't have to do the send to avionics, it's already done. So it takes a step out of our process even further, which is very cool, I think. But I just thought it was worth showing you that. So all I did there was SimBrief dispatch from the EFB, generate my flight, and then import it straight across into the aeroplane. And SimBrief is obviously free. So I've gone way off script with this now. This is going to be a classic, isn't it? Oh dear. So I set the bugs. Now the bugs may move. This is what I was really getting at, because our payload has changed, so the speeds may have changed on the Boeing 707 app. So we're on the data coordinates. Let's set the bugs again. Yeah, they've all moved slightly. Look, that's what I wanted to get at. So it's a bit of a round way of telling you that. Also, I can set the trim. So we've gone and pre-programmed the trim here where the needle is, based on what has been calculated based on our load. So it's correct. So when we get to the rotate speed, the aeroplane will be in equilibrium. That's the real thing we're aiming for there, if we configure it correctly. So we want flaps 14. Okay, that's that bit done. So we're going to go and press Shift and 3 to come over here and set the mode to standby for the radar, the weather radar. We'll put standby on the transponder as well. And Shift and 6 takes us overhead. We're going to go and put the beacon light to on. We're going to put the yaw damper light to on, which is here. We've already done that, haven't we? And window heats, captain and first officer go to low window heat for the moment, so just gently warming up the windows. Then Shift and 3, it takes us back down, and yeah, we've done transponder. So it would be worth at this point going and getting the correct code. So I'm going to go over to clearance at Nice on the radio and get our clearance. So before we do that, we want to get ATIS. So I'm tuning the radio to ATIS.
Left. Departing runway 04 right. Wind 330 at 13. Cav OK. Temperature 29er, dew point 16. QNH 1013. Transition level 80. Advise on initial contact. You have information Foxtrot.
That's the thing we needed to know.
Nice Côte d'Azur
Okay,
Airport.
so we're going to go over to clearance now.
Foxtrot. 180.
So I've gone over to clearance now. Nice clearance, Pan Am 073, requesting clearance to London Heathrow with information Foxtrot.
Pan Am 073, clear to London Heathrow via the BA38 Alpha departure, radar vector Zamiro, initial climb 4000, departure on 130.83, scope 2246, expect runway 04 right.
Bear with me a moment. So now I need to read that back to Nice clearance. Clear to London Heathrow via the Bado 8 Alpha departure, radar vectors Amiro, initial climb 4000, departure on 130.83, squawk 2246, expecting runway 04 right, Pan Am 073. So you will notice the accents of the controllers are much more accurate than they were previously. We'll contact ground when ready. Good day, 073. So, yeah, you will notice the radio or the air traffic services, the foreign accents are much improved than they were previously. This is a huge step up that SayIntentions has just made.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this flight. On behalf of the crew, my name
Okay,
is
so now we've got our
Johnson,
basic information.
and I
We
am
need
your
to
lead
go
flight
and put
attendant
4,000
today.
feet
Thank you for
into
flying
here.
with us. We
This
are
will be our
departing
initial
from
climb
Nice
as part of the
Côte
standard
d'Azur
instrument
Airport
departure
and
we're
heading
doing.
to London Heathrow Airport.
And
Please
we were
take your
told
seats according
radar
to your
vectors to
boarding passes and
Amiro,
stow
so
your
Bado
hand luggage in the
8A
overhead
departure.
bins or under the seats
So
in
let's
front
go
of
and
you.
have a look at that on the
If you need
charts.
any assistance, do not
So
hesitate
there's
to
the Bado
contact any
8A.
member of the crew. We wish you a pleasant flight.
And then radar vectors out to Amiro. So we're going to follow this procedure round. So in order for us to make that easy for ourselves, we've set the guidance system up to nav here. But this is on GPS, so it will follow the track that's programmed. And then we'll switch the autopilot when it's up and running a bit later on over to nav. Okay? And then we should be off to the races. But before we get there, we've got to go through getting the airplane ready. So we've done the flight plan, and we did that by importing it. So I'm just going down through my checklist. So next thing to do is comm radios, nav radios, ADF radios. We're not going to need to do that. We've done the trim, so pushback and engine start. Or prepare for pushback and engine start. So shift and 8. Air conditioning and pressurization, we're going to go and turn that back off for the moment. Going to turn the galley power back off. Oh, actually we didn't get it switched on, so that goes off. Shift and 6. The beacon light is on. I think we already got that, didn't we? So yeah, beacon light is already on. I need to go and clean some of these instructions up a little bit. Pushback. We can press Alt and P, but before we do that we need to go over to ground. So I'm going to tune in the ground frequency, so bear with me for a moment. So I've just tuned in the ground frequency we were told to. Ground Pan Am 073 requesting pushback and engine start.
Pan Am 073, push and start off route. Face east.
Push and start approved, face east, Pan Am 073. So let's have a look at that on the chart just to see. But they want us to face east, therefore the tail needs to go to the left. Now we've only got I haven't got any pushback add-ons installed, so I'm going to press Alt and P and hope for the best. So let's go and view up in the air. You can see there's the tractor coming in. I'm going to take the parking brake off. And let's see what they do to us. The simulator has put us on a very odd parking space as well. We really should have been over there, look. That one's strange as well.
Foxtrot Sierra India Tango November Contact Tower on 118.7.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this flight to London Heathrow Airport. Our estimated flight time is 1 hour and 40 minutes. Please pay close attention to the upcoming safety demonstration, as it contains important information.
They're going the wrong way. I'm going to stop the pushback, and we'll turn ourselves. So parking brake back on.
The
Foxtrot
seatbelt
Golf
must be
Bravo
fastened
Uniform,
whenever the
my
seatbelt
contact tower
sign is
on
illuminated. Please
118.7.
return your seat backs and tray tables to the upright position and ensure
Okay,
window
so
blinds
we
are
can
open
carry
for
on
takeoff and landing.
with
Mobile
engine
phones
start.
and electronic
So
devices
all we
must
need
be
to do
set to flight mode.
is look up
Laptops
here,
and larger devices should
and
be
we
securely
do
stowed
engine
during
number
takeoff
3
and landing.
first. So
Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes
3421
are
is the
prohibited
order.
anywhere on board,
So engine number 3,
including the lavatories. Oxygen masks will drop automatically if
and you can
required.
see N2 is
Pull the
climbing on
mask
engine number 3.
firmly. Place it over your nose and mouth and breathe normally.
Then we get ready on the
Remember
start
to secure
lever.
your own mask before assisting others. Life vests are located under
So
your
lever goes
seat.
up to start.
To put it on, put
There
it
are
over
2
your head,
detents on the
fasten it,
levers.
and
There's start
inflate
and
it
idle.
only after leaving the aircraft. Special life vests for children are available. Floor level lighting will guide you to the nearest
So we're watching
exit,
the dials
which
here.
is clearly marked. There are 2 exits at the front and 2 at the rear of the aircraft. The nearest exit may be behind you. In case of evacuation, please leave all personal belongings behind and follow the cruise instructions immediately. If any electronic device becomes hot or
Okay,
catches
that's
fire,
engine
please
number 3
inform
done.
a member of the crew
So now we do engine number 4,
immediately.
so we can
The safety
close the
information card in
starter
your seat
for
pocket
3 and go
contains
for number
all
4, so we
details.
put it downwards.
Thank you for your attention and for flying with us.
So you can see the needles spinning around for engine number 4. Sorry, here they are. So N2 is climbing.
N2, lever to start.
Foxtrot Golf India Alpha X-ray cross runway 4 left.
Cross 4 left. Foxtrot Golf India Alpha
Start
X-ray.
and release. %N2, lever to idle.
Okay, and next engine is number 2.
Aerolas 2277, hold short of runway 04 left, 737
So we're now watching
on
the
runway.
engine 2 gauges. You can see N2 is coming up, that's the gas turbine
Foxtrot,
speed.
Mike, Tango, Echo, Quebec, ready to taxi.
15% N2.
Foxtrot, Mike Tango, Echo Quebec, taxi to holding point, runway 4 right via uniform. Golf,
So
uniform.
when we get to
Alpha, Alpha
50%,
1, hold short
they will
of
ask
runway
us
4
to
left.
push it all the way forwards.
Oil pressure rising.
Taxi to holding point, runway 4, right via uniform, Golf, uniform, Alpha, Alpha 1.
Starter release.
Hold short of runway 4 left, Foxtrot, Mike, Tango, Echo, Quebec.
%, N2. Lever to idle.
Corsica 76, X-ray, Golf
And
cross,
engine number
runway
1.
4 left.
Crossing 4 left, Corsica 76, X-ray Golf.
Oops, there we go.
Engine start valve open.
So we can see engine number 1, we've got the N2 climbing. When it gets to 15, they will ask us, or the co-pilot will read out.
15% N2. Lever to start.
And wait for it to get to 50, and then we
Oil
go to
pressure
idle.
rising. Starter release.
That's
Foxtrot,
coming up to
Golf India,
50.
Alpha X-ray, contact tower, on 118.7.
Lever to idle.
Okay, we've got the engines up and running, so let's go and close that switch overhead.
X-ray.
So having started all of the engines, we go to the post-engine start, things to do. So shift and 0, we can go and turn the bleed valve to now off, because we don't need bleed air from the APU anymore. So shift 8 brings us to overhead on the engineer station. We go to the paralleling section and we spin it round to
Cross
Gen
04
1.
left, then continue by Alpha 2, Whiskey, Whiskey 3, Aero Alice 2277.
And then we go to the essential power section, which is here, and we spin that round to Gen 1 as well. And then go to the AC power section on the left, and we close all of the AC power circuits, because the engines are now generating electricity.
118.7.
Over to tower, Corsica
Okay.
76, X-ray Golf.
We now go to the air compressors in at the top up here, and we can go and turn on engine 2, 3 and 4 to start up. So this is engine 2, 3 and 4. Then the air conditioning bar can go back to the on setting. We can set the altitude as required, but I think let's go and have a look at the Simbury flight plan to remind ourselves. We're going up to 38,000 feet. So if you look down here, there's an altitude setting, and you can roll this round to 38,000 feet. So I'm guessing we can just keep this going.
Foxtrot Golf November Tango Lima, cross runway 4 left.
Let's zoom in a little bit on it so we can see it.
Cross runway 4 left.
18, 20, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. Okay. We'll also go and turn on the bleed air from the engines. That's missing on my notes actually. So galley power can come back on. So shift and 9 takes us to the lower station. We're going to go and turn the boost pumps on for the engines now. You only need to turn on, see look, it'll say low pressure. You don't need the centre boost pumps if you haven't got fuel in the centre tanks, and we don't today, so that's fine. Shift and 0 brings us over to the engineer station, and we can turn off the APU master switch now.
Aero Alas 2277,
spinning
contact
down.
tower on 118.7.
Okay, shift and 9 takes us back to the engineer station. We
Contacting
can
tower
set
on
the auxiliary
118.7,
pumps down
Aero
here
Alice
to on,
2277.
And then we can go back into the cockpit, the main cockpit, and we can go and look in here, go and check all the doors are closed. They are. And we can prepare to taxi. So shift and 6 takes us overhead. We're going to go and turn the taxi and wing to on or up. Then shift and 3 will bring us down here. We can set the transponder. It's usually on A. We didn't set the code, did we? So let me go and review what was said earlier. 2246.
Golf 1, Uniform, Foxtrot, Tango.
Echo Golf, Golf 1, Uniform, Foxtrot, Tango, Austrian 379er.
Okay. And we can go and turn that on.
Air France 36, Foxtrot Hotel, request pushback.
Okay, we're going to go and set our
Air
flaps.
France
They were
36,
14
Hotel,
degrees, weren't
push
they?
and start at your
So
discretion.
flap lever to 14.
Pushback and start approved. Air France 36, Foxtrot Hotel.
And we're good to taxi now. So we know the taxi from the flight simulator didn't really help us.
Austrian 379er.
So
Give
we're
way
going
the citation
to
on your right.
turn ourselves. I'm going to turn head tracking on now.
Austrian 379er.
They wanted us to face east, which is this way. Which is a bit of a bizarre direction for them to want us to face, but we'll go with it. And we can talk to the ground again. Ground Pan Am 073 requesting taxi to runway 04 right.
Pan Am 073, taxi to holding point runway 04 right, via Sierra Delta Tango, Charlie, Uniform Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short of runway 04 left.
Taxi to holding point runway 04 right via Sierra Delta Tango Charlie Uniform Alpha Alpha 1, hold short runway 04 left, Pan Am 073. Sierra Delta Tango Charlie. Sierra Delta Tango Charlie. Yeah, so that's straightforward, straight at the end basically. So we're on Sierra now.
Foxtrot Golf, Whiskey Alpha Mike ready
And
to
Delta
taxi.
is along here.
Foxtrot Golf, Whiskey Alpha Mike, taxi to holding point runway 4 right, via Uniform, Golf, Uniform, Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short of runway 4 left.
Taxi to holding point runway 4 right, via Uniform Golf, Uniform Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short of runway 4 left, Foxtrot Golf, Whiskey Alpha Mike.
SayIntentions really has turned a corner recently.
Air France 36, Foxtrot Hotel, ready to taxi.
Sounds fantastic.
Air France 36 Foxtrot Hotel, taxi to holding point runway 4 right,
So
via Uniform,
Delta
Alpha,
Charlie
Alpha 1,
Tango, wasn't
hold
it?
short
So
of runway 4 left.
carry on along here
Taxi
for a
to
while.
holding point runway 4 right, via Uniform Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short of runway 4 left, Air France 36, Foxtrot Hotel.
Foxtrot Mike Tango Echo Quebec Contact Tower on 118.7.
118.7 for Tower, Foxtrot, Mike Tango, Echo, Quebec.
So yeah, we're on slightly the wrong taxiway. We should be over there, but we haven't been told off. There were no other aeroplanes around. We should be on a parallel track to where we are. It's fine now. So we need to hold short 04 left.
Pan Am 073, slow your taxi, 750 on the taxiway ahead.
Slowing our taxi, Pan Am 073. That's interesting, that's new. So their awareness has increased as well. So this is the holding point, 04 left. Looks like the plane ahead's going for the full runway length on 04 right for takeoff. I'll stick the parking brake on for the moment. It'll probably be dark by the time we get to Heathrow, so we'll have a play with the interior lights as well along the way. Oh, this is who we're waiting for.
Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec Delta Charlie, cross runway 4 left.
Ooh,
Crossing 4 left, Foxtrot Juliet. Quebec
he
Delta
was
Charlie.
rolling before they told him, wasn't he?
Air France 36 Foxtrot contact tower on 118.7.
118.7 per tower, Air France 36 Foxtrot Hotel.
Pan Am 073, hold short of runway 04 left, A320 on the runway.
Holding short 04 left, Pan Am 073.
Attention all aircraft, information kilo is now current. QNH 1013.
That's why the needles didn't move earlier. The QNH happens to be the standard QNH. That means we're not going to have to make any change when we come through the transition altitude, which is nice. Oh, come on, let me go. What are we waiting for? Is there somebody in the sky? Should we go and have a look? We can have a little peek because we're looking at a little map. No, there's nobody on approach. There's just... This A320 is holding short.
Foxtrot ready to taxi.
Foxtrot Oscar Delta, Foxtrot Foxtrot, taxi to holding point, runway 4 right, via uniform, Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short of runway 4 left.
Taxi to holding point, runway 4 right via uniform, Alpha, Alpha 1. Full short of runway 4 left, Foxtrot, Oscar Delta, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Pan Am 073, cross runway 04 left, then continue taxi via Alpha 2, Whiskey Whiskey 3.
The crossing 04 left, then via Whiskey, Pan Am 073.
Ground
with Malta 7 Charlie Foxtrot, taxi to parking.
With Malta 7 Charlie Foxtrot, taxi to parking via Echo Golf, Golf 1, Uniform, Bravo,
Alpha 2, Whiskey is the closer one to the runway.
Echo Golf, Golf 1, Uniform, Bravo, Tango with Malta 7 Charlie Foxtrot.
Foxtrot Romeo Hotel, Delta Hotel, cross runway 4 left.
Cross runway 4 left. Foxtrot Romeo Hotel, Delta Hotel.
Are we stuck behind his A320? Has he got something wrong? Oh no, he's moving at last.
Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec Delta Charlie, contact tower on 118.7.
Switching to tower, Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec Delta Charlie.
Panam 073, contact tower on 118.7. Safe flight.
Contacting tower 118.7, Panam 073, good day. Let's just check the radio has gone through, 118.7 it has. Tower, Panam 073, holding short runway 04 right.
Panam 073, Nice Tower, runway 04 right, hold short, you're number 3 behind the 750.
Holding short, Panam 073. Where did the other one go?
Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec
it's on its
Delta
way.
Charlie, holding short at 4 right. Ready for takeoff.
Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec, Delta Charlie, winds 320 at 10, runway 4 right, cleared for takeoff.
4 right, cleared for takeoff. Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec Delta Charlie.
Air France 36 Foxtrot Hotel, contact departure.
Departure, Air France 36 Foxtrot Hotel, au revoir.
Approaching runway 4, right.
Panam 073, runway 04 right, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, runway 04 right, Panam 073. I like that the nose wheel lighting, look, if I wiggle the tiller, it's on the front of the nose wheel, so it turns with it, which is fantastic.
Panam 073, runway 04 right, winds 330 at 13, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 04 right, Panam 073. Why are click spots so horrendous sometimes?
Foxtrot Charlie, Quebec Delta Charlie, contact departure. Bonjour.
Gonna have a pretty takeoff, aren't we?
Departure, Foxtrot Juliet, Quebec Delta Charlie.
We're just going to double check everything before we go. So everything looks okay. Famous last words.
Runway 4, right, remaining.
Make sure this is all
9,400
good.
feet.
Yep, we've got no auto systems on. They won't work until it's engaged anyway. Okay, so we got GPS set, we got the course set, and you can see it's an immediate right turn on the course. Let's bring the range down on this. Oh, we should have done the window heats as well. and the pitot heat, so I'll do them straight away after takeoff.
P1. Rotate.
So, gear up.
Positive rate. Gear up. Speed check. Select flaps up.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Hotel, Delta, Hotel, short of port, right, ready, request straight out.
Just keeping an eye on everything at the moment. Holding it below 250 knots on the throttles, letting it hold the same pitch level. It's going up about 3,000 feet a minute at the moment.
Hotel, Delta Hotel. Runway 4 right, winds 320 at 10. Clear for takeoff.
We're doing the Bado 8 Alpha, you need to remember that.
On 130.83.
Okay, altitude's coming up towards 3,000 feet. We're climbing for 4,000. There goes the altitude hold kicking in.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Hotel, Delta, Hotel. Foxtrot, Golf, Whiskey, Alpha, line, holding short of 4 right, ready for takeoff.
Contacting each departure 130.83, Pan Am 073, good day. So 130.83 is tuned in. Nice departure, Pan Am 073 with you doing the Bado 8 departure, holding at 4,000 feet. We're going too fast now.
Departure, Foxtrot, Romeo, Hotel, Delta, Hotel, 2,000 to 4,000.
Pan Am 073, NIS departure identified. Climb flight level 100, turn right, heading 265, direct or CAC when able. Then on navigation.
Climb flight level 100, turn right, heading 265 direct or CAC, then when able, then on navigation, Pan Am 073. So let's get 10,000 feet going, shall we? So we need to go and turn off the altitude hold.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Hotel, Delta Hotel. Marseille control, radar contact. Maintain VFR at or below 4,000.
And go and give this a boot full of climb right.
Pan Am 073, traffic at your 12 o'clock 5 miles. It's 4,520.
Copy traffic at our 12 o'clock 5 miles, Pan Am 073.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Hotel, Delta, Hotel.
Pan Am 073, contact Marseille control on 127.9005.
Contacting Marseille control 127.905, Pan Am 073.
Departure, Foxtrot, Golf, Whiskey, Alpha, Mike 2000 for 4,000.
Foxtrot Golf.
There we go.
Mouvelaire 543, flight level 320. Mouvelaire 543, bonsoir.
Nice departure, Pan Am 073 with you climbing flight level 100.
Mouvelaire 543, traffic 10 o'clock to 0 miles, same direction, and turboprop at flight level 300.
Pan Am 073, Marseille control, identified. Bonsoir, climb flight level 180.
Climbing flight level 180, Pan Am 073.
nearly on the traffic jam. We're 543.
Okay, so we're just coming up through 7,500 feet. It was transition altitude was 8,000, I think, wasn't it? Let's go and double check that on the charts. It'll be on the standard instrument departure charts, won't it? So we're making our way out up towards Amiro. And they said 8 earlier, but it's 5. That's interesting. So we don't have to change anyway, because it's the same as the 1013 that we're already on. So we're just waiting now to get to 10,000 feet, and then we can go and turn the landing lights off. So somebody's saying this is sacrilege, having the GNS 530. Come on, one step at a time. I'm learning the aeroplane. I'm having enough work. Should we go and turn the weather radar on? I don't think we're going to need it much, but I'm having enough work just operating the autopilot for these early flights. Once I get more and more comfortable with it, we'll have a play with the the Civet INS system, which is fairly straightforward. But it doesn't do SIDS though, so you have to hand fly SIDS. Therefore, you'll be, only does major waypoints.
The use of approved electronic devices is now permitted in flight mode. Our cabin service will begin shortly. Thank you for flying with us, and we hope you enjoy the
Okay,
flight.
we're through 10,000 feet now. Oh, look at the mess coming out the back. Copy, no speed restrictions, Pan Am 073. Yeah, SayIntentions has improved an awful lot just recently. Coming out with much more natural communications over the radio. I'm super impressed with it. I've managed to somehow lock the mouse on to, there we go, to moving the view around. That was rather interesting for a moment there. Climbing flight level 260, Pan Am 073. So we just need to go and spin this round. So should we get some lights on, because this is going to get dark pretty quickly, isn't it? We can have white light, we don't have to have red. We're not like operating military kind of, there we go, lovely and bright in the cockpit with dome lighting now, and we've got backlighting overhead.
Air France 27, Quebec, November, flight level 310, flight level 270.
So we are climbing at the moment at an incredible rate, over 3,000 feet a minute. Let's bring the power down a bit. And let's drop the nose a little bit. We're not going to be able to hold that climb rate forever. Very pretty out there, isn't it? Should put head tracking on so we can see it. Climbing flight level 340, Pan Am 073.
Down to flight level 240, Air France 27, Quebec, November.
I think you can hide the tablet somehow. I'm trying to remember how. There is a way of doing it. I saw it at one point how to do it, and now I can't remember how to do it myself. Yeah, I'm going to leave it alone. I don't mind it. How are we doing? Climbing through 21,500 feet. Still cracking on at nearly 2,000 feet a minute, look. And we're holding, without going flat out on the engines, we're holding 270 knots. That's not bad going.
705. Well, 18 next grade.
So there's some comments in the live stream about the GNS 530. There are, late in their life, the 707s absolutely had retrofitted 530s. It's based on real aircraft. It's not made up. Let's go and turn head tracking off just so we keep this nice and steady. Yeah, so this is absolutely real. It's not a made up thing. Let's put it on the arc mode. And then you can see the data around the edge, so 5 miles. So we get all the wonders of radio, or sorry, GPS navigation.
Moving flight level 240 for flight level 220. Air France 27, Quebec, November.
Okay. So everything seems to be working. Let's bring the heading bug round to the direction we're going, just to keep things neat and tidy, in case we have to revert to it at any point. We could have a play with some VOR DME readings. So let's go and have a look on the map at where we are. Oh, this has got the wrong flight map. Let's go and correct that while we're at it. Download. Create flight plan. No, we don't want to bother. So the only reason I did that is because, yeah, this now follows the actual flight plan we had. We're looking for a beacon somewhere nearby, aren't we? And I bet we're not going to find any. There's one over here, look. What's the range on it? Is it going to be 100 miles or more? Yes, it is. So that's the MTL, or Montélimar, 11365.
Ascending flight level 190.
And now switch that to active. And there we go, distance measuring's working. It takes a while to stop spinning. It's obviously having to climb to quite a high number, look. But that's quite cool because you get to anticipate. Because it's an analog instrument and it rolls, you can anticipate it. That's very cool. See, now at the moment, SayIntentions, you might say, is a little bit quiet, so we can fix that. If I go to SayIntentions.AI on the internet, or I can do this via the app as well, actually. Let's go and close that, minimize, and if I pull up SayIntentions, which is obviously running in the background, you can see now I can pull up a volume mixer, and I can increase the volume of the ATC for you.
Air France 27, Quebec, November, using to flight level 170.
Ascending to flight level 170, Air France 27, Quebec, November.
There we go. Let me just make sure on the volume levels that it's not completely blowing out the volume. It's quite loud in the aeroplane, isn't it? Let's turn it down a little bit. It's a noisy old aeroplane. Okay, how are we doing on the climb? Coming up towards 30,000 feet. We're just, we're going to have to lessen the climb rate. There are book numbers you can follow to do this properly. I'll have to make a table up and put it in with the procedure because it would make a lot more sense for people to.
Alpha
to see that. So we're dropping back to more like 1,000 feet a minute for the last few 1,000 feet of climb, and that will keep the airspeed up.
119.175. Good evening. Alpine 13 Bravo Victor.
If you ever watch the modern aircraft on their climb profiles, it's almost a parabolic curve where it flattens out and it's doing hundreds of feet a minute in the last few thousand feet. But we are going quite high as well, remember, we're going up to 38,000, so there's no way we would have held on to 2,000 feet a minute. In fact, let's go down a bit more. We're not in a mad hurry. We can see this against the profile as well in little nav map to see how well we're doing versus the book numbers. So yeah, I've just pulled it away from the top, so we're pulling the curve to hit the top of climb. Okay, there we are, whizzing across the map. Good so far.
07 Zulu Echo at flight level 370.
Iberia 07 Zulu Echo. 25. Bonsoir.
Okay, so it's just a case of watching the aeroplane and keeping an eye on it now. We could give it a bit more throttle. So let's go and look at these gauges as I play with the throttles to see. We're just over 100% though, look, on N1, which is not great. Just pulling it back gently to get it on the limit. So that's just above 90% on N2. So this is gas turbine speeds, this is the turbofan speeds. Then we've got the fuel flow, chugging through the fuel.
Air control, speedbird 55 Golf, Alpha flight level 320 for flight level 360.
Speedbird 55 Golf, bien retenu.
So this is showing the consumed pounds, which is interesting in its own right, I guess. But where is the actual? It's going to be on the back of the cockpit, isn't it? So here's the fuel system. Yeah, look, here's the fuel quantities in the tanks. So we've got quite a lot. Notice there are different scales because of the different tank sizes, so you can't rely on the needle positions. So they're fairly even.
Same direction, a heavy Boeing 777, flight level 340.
Speedbird 55 Golf.
Okay, we're coming up through, holding 270 knots. Climbing flight level 380, Panam 073. So we've just been given our final clearance, so we can carry on beyond 34 that we originally had clearance for. And if we go and have a look on the map,
075, good evening, Alpine 13 Bravo Victor.
And we'll close that and go to, we haven't got a flight plan loaded, have we? Unload, because we were messing around with this earlier. I forgot there was a SimBrief app, if you remember. If we unload and then go to flights, is it? I can never remember how this works. No, it still thinks it's doing a new flight, doesn't it? Hide that. In fact, it's not behaving at all. I think the app has gone wrong. Yeah, well, we can't select anything. Unfortunately, the Navigraph app is inoperative today. Could we? No, we can't even trick it. Look, it's stuck. Okay, we won't worry about that then. I thought it might be nice to see a chart en route, but we don't appear to have that, so we'll put up with the flight simulator one. Obviously we can tab across and look at it here, and we can look at it in the full fat version of Navigraph as well. And see where... This is what I was looking for really. So if we change this to night mode, we're really looking for that division between the sectors, because we'll get a handover between controllers, I would imagine, along the way. Can we have a night mode on here? Does it do that? Probably not. How are we doing? Still above 250 knots, still climbing. We're now above, coming up for 36,000 feet, a couple of thousand feet to go then. We have got Amanda in the cockpit with us, Amanda Sorsby, I think. Hi Amanda, how is it going so far?
Hey Jonathan, it's going smoothly. How about you?
Everything just looks okay so far. Have you noticed me doing anything horrendously wrong yet?
You're doing great, Jonathan. No horrendous mistakes so far.
Phew. So I'm being asked in the live stream, where am I flying to? I'm flying to London Heathrow. So we took off from Nice in the south of France, the Côte d'Azur, and we are flying across France through several sectors in towards London Heathrow. There is an ulterior motive for doing this flight. SayIntentions have massively upgraded the voices of the air traffic services crew, and not just that, the flight crews as well. You'll have heard Amanda suddenly sounds a lot more human than she did previously, has some emotion, and that's no accident. So the controllers sound, the foreign language controllers sound a lot more natural than they did previously. Also, we're getting lots of variation amongst them. But also, yeah, the cabin crew and the co-pilots sound much more natural. So yeah, I'm really up here to have a listen to the French controllers because they sound spectacular so far. So all the credit goes to SayIntentions. So as I said at the start, if you're interested in trying SayIntentions out, there's a link in the notes of the video. So you can get a free trial of SayIntentions via that link. So it's worth, I think it's a 24-hour free trial, so it's worth clearing your diary one day, booting the simulator up on a PC with SayIntentions and have some fun with it, because it is spectacularly good. Okay, what's the Garmin saying down here? 5 miles till the next waypoint. That's for us. Contacting Marseille Control 126.705, Panam 073, good day. So I can change it here, 126.705, I've just done it. Marseille Control, Panam 073 with you, climbing flight level 380. We're about to get there right now, look.
Panam 073, Marseille Control identified. Bonsoir, pilote.
Bonsoir, Panam 073. So, as you will have heard, the air traffic services, different person, different voice, very natural, fantastic.
Dear guests, the cabin crew will now begin the snack and beverage service. We have some delightful options for you, including our popular cheese platter and refreshing fruit juices. After the service, selected items from the shop will be available for purchase. Thank you for flying with us.
So as I said at the start, the reason I'm able to change the frequencies and read back notes easily is I have a mobile app running on an iPad, on the phone, and a phone outside of the simulator called Pocket Sky. And it gives me a live transcript of the communications. And when the controllers mention a frequency for the radio, I can just touch it with my finger and the radio frequency changes inside the cockpit live. I think that's spectacularly clever. And it reduces my workload enormously, and I don't have to tab between applications, and it looks that much more joined up to you. You could do it by jumping over to SayIntentions, and you can see the transcript here as well. So I could click on the frequencies here.
727, descend to flight level 150.
But we don't need to. So I'm running the SayIntentions app on my, it's called Pocket Sky, on my iPad alongside the PC. And it's writing a transcript down of all the communications, so I can easily scroll back through it if I want to look something up. It's very, very useful. Aha, so Jared is saying he's just done a Just Flight F-28 flight from Nice to Paris. No doubt you were trying out the SayIntentions air traffic services over France as well. They sound amazing. Okay, we're nearly up to the limit of the airframe speed, so I'm going to ease the throttles back. We are whistling along.
Air France 18 Delta Quebec, identify.
Ah, so Jared's on an Xbox. What's your experience like on the Xbox so far, Jared? Is it, having fun with it at least? Because I know quite often when people ask what's the best way into trying out Flight Simulator, I always tell them go for an Xbox. If you don't already own, a pretty quick PC, your cheapest route in is always going to be the Xbox, I think. Although saying that, the price of Xboxes has jumped recently, hasn't it?
35, Foxtrot, Golf, Bravo, Uniform Mike, Mexico.
Swiss 57 Zulu, contact house control on 121.075. Au revoir.
Switching to 121.075, Swiss 57 Zulu.
Should have a look from outside. My word. So the wonderful thing in the evening is you can see the nav lights of the other aircraft around you. There's not too many around us at the moment, but when we get near to London it's going to be mad. So the city we are just passing down there is Lyon. It's Lyon. And if you keep an eye out in the background, you'll see some twinkly lights around now and again.
Lima Alpha. Contact Milan Radar Center on 132.705. Au revoir.
Switching to 132.705.
So,
Eurowings 8 Lima Alpha.
Scott is saying that Sim Update 6 has been laggy. I had to empty my community folder.
Keep your speed up 290 or better.
Is that for us?
Slowing to 290, Condor 7 Papa.
We're doing pretty well. Yeah, so after installing Sim Update 6 the other evening, I had all sorts of problems. It took me 4 hours to narrow it down, and the only way I fixed it in the end was removing everything from my community folders, and it was suddenly fixed. So some of the old legacy aeroplanes, and I had to go and look through the file system on the PC.
On the 04 uniform, contact Paris control on 125.45 upward.
Over to Paris control on 125.45, Lufthansa 04 uniform.
So yeah, I had to go and clear out not only the community folder, but the community 2020 and 24 folders, which are hidden away in the file system. And once I did that, and also just as a safeguard, I don't think it affected it though, I emptied the WASM folder as well. But after removing the contents of all the community folders, the problems I was having went away and the simulator was smooth and no weird effects. The problem I had was aeroplanes emptying their fuel tanks. So there was something in the old aeroplanes I had that was globally affecting all other aircraft. I'll have a chat with SayIntentions for you, Thomas, to see what they must be looking at Xbox, because that's a huge chunk of the market they're missing out on. I know.
Control 125.79. Good evening, Lufthansa 64 Papa.
One of the add-ons, I'm just going to try and remember the name of it. Volanta. They figured out a way to work with the Xbox, didn't they, recently? I'm not sure if it's going to be possible. I guess SayIntentions. The trouble is they may be able to do air traffic services, but I doubt they can get the injection to work. I may be wrong about that. So yeah, the problem I had with all aircraft in the sim following Sim Update 6 was as soon as I touched any switches in the cockpit, the fuel gauges, also the fuel quantities inside the aircraft reverted back to the default.
125.45.
Or they completely emptied.
8 Alpha Tango.
So how are we doing here? We've got quite a complicated sector diagram going on here, haven't we? So 2 minutes till the next waypoint, but we're going to cross over through a sector. If we go and have a look on Navigraph, yeah, we're about to change controllers by the sounds of it. We'll find out in a moment.
M073.
There we go.
Contact Paris control on 125.455.
Contacting Paris control 125.455. Pan Am 073. Good day. Changed. Paris Control, Pan Am 073 with you, flight level 380. Just looking us up.
Swiss 357, descend to flight level 140, pilot's discretion.
Pan Am 073, Paris Control 25. Bonsoir, pilote.
So there we go, Paris Control have picked us up. So while we are doing this, I think it would be nice to go and have a look around the 707, wouldn't it? For those that haven't really seen it in much detail.
357, resume normal cruise speed.
So the gotchas, when you're first starting this airplane up from cold and dark, the radio master switches are overhead. You can fly the airplane with them off, and I did. But the radios won't work correctly. The GPS will though, bizarrely, because it doesn't use the radio. What else do we get? All sorts of things to play with, to be honest. Oh, well, I didn't go and turn these on earlier, did I? So let's go and get all that turned on. I was going to do that straight after takeoff and got chatting and forgot all about it. It's amazing that it's a lovely warm evening, so we got away with it. So we haven't frozen up the pitot tubes. I'm not sure if any of the breakers work. This is a famous flyer aircraft at the end of the day, so they aim towards accessibility. Therefore, they're not going to have things that can randomly, require you to know the book.
Can I get you anything to drink or a small snack, Captain?
Very good, thank you. Actually, can we get a coffee?
KLM 712, flight level 330.
KLM 71 Zulu, airs control identified.
So I'm just having a look around some of the controls here. So there's an altitude hold here, look, but this is for the flight directors, not for the actual autopilot. This is the autopilot panel. So this is what it, for the system to tell you what it wants to do, and this is for you to do it. So altitude hold is here, and it's guarded, look, and then you've got the controls there for the autopilot itself, the pitch control, you've got a turn controller, and obviously the mode. So you've got navigation mode, which is going to follow on in this configuration. If I switch over to VOR, I'm not sure if doing that, we'll try it later. I'm not sure if flicking this will change that automatically.
KLM 21 X-ray.
So we have a nose around the rest of the cockpit. So, engineer station, everything works, and it's fairly straightforward actually. So you've obviously got the fuel boost pumps here, and I've got some assistance switched on so we don't go and cook the aeroplane. One of the really nice things they built into it to reduce the workload, on the first page of this you've got the flight engineer tab in the app for the 707, and you've got automatic monitoring, look, of the fuel feeds, the fuel temperatures, the air sources and the EPR box. So the engineer is going to go and set those things for us, so we don't have to be in two places at once, which is worth its weight in gold. Otherwise you end up just fighting fires for the entire flight, which is kind of what you do in the DC-6. So I don't need to manage this during the flight. You can see the reason I noticed that to tell you about it is he's been playing with the valves between the tanks to keep everything level and balanced. So you've got the oxygen system over here, coolants, the environmental control systems, the AC power settings. We saw that obviously at the start where we closed the circuits. It's good, isn't it? So if we stand up a little bit and open the door, we come through. Can we open these? Oh, we can. So it's just stowage by the look of it. Oh no, it's the toilet for the crew. And then we can open this one. And there's some payload at the front of the fuselage by the look of it. And then there's another little door here. And we can get to the cabin. If we were running GSX, obviously we could have a cabin full of people to go and kind of try to walk around. And if we wander down the cabin.
Charlie, flight level 310.
Lufthansa 44 Charlie, identified, bonsoir.
Of course, we can play games here and go and sit down in this seat and watch the world go by, as you would in the real thing, which is quite cool.
Lufthansa 44 Charlie, copy, we'll get you up there shortly.
We'll wander down to the back of the fuselage. I'm not sure what we can do in the way of opening cupboards. I haven't tried. Oh, I've managed to go and lock the mouse on again. Oh, and I've completely locked it this time. I have managed to lock the mouse out.
Air France 47 Charlie Yankee, bean raccoon.
There we go. Got it back. There's various double and triple clicks you can do in Flight Simulator which change the behaviour of everything. Yeah, I'm not going to delve around. I'll end up breaking everything if I keep messing around. So if anybody's ever wondered on these old airliners why they have the quarter windows up above, it's for astral navigation. So in the days before any of this, say you were doing a transatlantic route, they could get a sextant out and take measurements of stars and navigate via the stars. You can see, look, there's the plough right in the window there. How cool is that? It's one of the areas I would really love to learn is to do astral navigation within the simulator.
Master Control 123.805. Bonsoir France Soleil 52 Golf Victor.
I'm guessing if the Xbox allows other applications to run, then SayIntentions could run in parallel with Flight Simulator on the Xbox, but I'm not sure if that's ever going to be possible. Because the fact that an Xbox can run Flight Sim in the first place is astounding to me.
Airplanes 1732, contact remix control on 121.075, au revoir.
Over 2 remix control on 121.075, airplanes 1732.
Should we go to the drone camera? And if I can find it somewhere around here, I've got an Xbox controller. If I go and turn it on, we can have a pan around the aeroplane. Turn the speed of the controller down somewhat so we're not too fast.
Corsair 772, contact Marseille Control on 128.325, bonsoir.
Switching to 128.325, Corsair 772.
Let's fix this. When you normally go to drone camera, it goes slightly panoramic, and it's kind of annoying to me, but there we go. Why they've got dark glasses on at night is anyone's guess.
Bluebird 564 Yankee, traffic 10 o'clock and 20 miles, crossing right to left, a turboprop, flight level 340. Looking 2005 Yankee.
Somebody just went whizzing past right underneath us. Look.
Contact Marseille Control on 128.325.
Switching to 128.325 KLM 710.
Oh, I better be careful. I have got the drone camera axis has still got the rudder on it. Did you see that? The airplane wiggled. So I'm going to be careful. I'm going to go back and look inside. Where are we? Now, is it still working? I'll turn the Xbox controller off. And go and make sure that the autopilot is still operating. Yeah. Normally on an autopilot, if you give it too much input on any axis, it will kill the autopilot and you'll have to go and retrim and reset. So I'm just making sure autopilot is still working, even though we had an extraneous rudder input, and it's still tracking the course. That's good. Had a bit of a panic there of my own making. I haven't read the book yet on what the weather radar settings do. Obviously there's some misty cloud up here, but nothing that's going to show up as rain on the radar yet. So Snoot Droop is saying he has weird issues capturing the glide slope. You have to come in from below the glide slope, yes. You have to keep the speed low. Have it configured typically before you get near the glide slope. To be honest, I usually fly landings by hand. As soon as I'm anywhere near lined up, I'll go manual. So, but yeah, if you wanted to get... Has it got an approach mode? It probably hasn't, has it? It's got glide slope. Oh, okay. It's got glide slope auto and manual. I don't know what the difference is. So I'm guessing GS auto means it would try and fly down the pipe for you. To be honest, this evening I'll be flying it in by hand. Aha, so Island Flyer is saying there is an AstroNav add-on with a virtual sextant you can take star shots with. That would be brilliant in a 707, wouldn't it? So if you had the Cive down here, the inertial navigation system, and you were able to take some shots there of, some of the stars of the plough, for example, or whatever happens to be in the sky of where you're flying, and do some measurements, that would be fantastic fun. And then the trick there is you would use little nav map, for example. You would take off the line of your route. You would take off your track. You would take off where you are, and then you would just go while you're flying along. When you think you've figured out what your coordinates are, you would just go and add user points to the map. You would normally put the time on it, maybe. So you could say 22, 29. Or whatever you want to do, and you could do that and then keep plotting your position, and if you did it on a timed schedule, then you could have some meaning behind that. So if we delete that user point for the moment, but you could do that sort of trick. Look at that, I forgot to turn off the track there, but we can turn all this back on, of course, because we're not doing that, so we can see ourselves again, and we can show our projected routes. Are we anywhere near the next sector? No. It will cross over into London Control, look, when we're over the English Channel. I think the French name for the English Channel is the Elbow.
795 Alpha. Copy, we'll get you higher shortly.
We're very fast again, look. So I'm going to pull the throttles back ever so gently, otherwise we're going to end up overspeeding. Oh, it's great that we are making such good progress. But at what cost? Okay, how are we doing? So 20 miles to the next waypoint. 2 minutes to go.
Sol 852 Bravo Echo.
Have a look.
Contact Bordeaux Control on 127.675.
Bordeaux Control 127.675. Bonsoir. Sol 852 Bravo Echo.
So this being an old aeroplane, we're not going to get top of descent marked on the map. So 38,000 feet, we're going to use the 3-to-1 rule. So for every 1,000 feet, we're going to need at least 3 miles. We also need to have a look at the approach. So we got the star is there, And then there's vectors into the approach for 9 left at Heathrow. That's if that's what happens. The controllers may change it. But we need to know a ballpark of how far away to begin our descent. So we're going to open the calculator. No, not the camera. The calculator. There we go. And we're going to put in 38,000 feet.
Jet 5, November X-ray, contact
and divide it by 3.
On 121.075.
Which gives us 100 and... Actually, no, I've done that wrong, haven't I? 1,000 feet. So, yeah, 1,000 feet every 3 miles. So, times 3. So, yes. Let me open the calculator again, just to do that quickly. So we've got 38,000 feet times 3, 114 miles. So then we can give ourselves a ballpark here. If we go and add a range ring of 114 miles, we know to start descending when we come through this waypoint at Abner to give ourselves easily enough time. That will be a glided descent, by the way. And again, the 707 isn't the most sleek of aeroplanes, and it will actually come down quite a bit quicker than a lot of others. But obviously you can throw the spoilers out.
Pan Am 073, contact Paris Control on 124.85.
Contacting Paris Control 124.85, Pan Am 073, good evening. So let's go and change over to Paris Control. Paris Control, Pan Am 073 with you, flight level 380. Oh, we got that turn wrong, didn't it?
Pan Am 073, Paris Control, identified. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Paris Control, Pan Am 073. Okay, should we see if this Navigraph app has started behaving? No, it's bust. Oh, I say that, no, it's like it starts behaving. So, can we close that? And then can we...
Air France 742, contact Bordeaux Control on 127.675, au revoir.
Bordeaux Control 127.675, bonsoir.
So, we just need to get this to show us the correct flight plan now, don't we? Import from SimBrief, that one, give it a chance, it's thinking,
Skyport 590, traffic 10 o'clock and 10 miles, crossing left to right.
It's thinking, it's broken again, hasn't it? Well, I'm just hoping a line is going to appear directly underneath us, but it's having a bad day. Let's try again. Unload. Import from SimBrief. That one. Yay, it's working. It's just the web services are a bit flaky, I think. So it is working, and we can see where the sectors are going to switch over. And that is quite cool, because then we can go and look at the... If we close this, it should show us... He says famous last words, it won't close this now. Great. Flights. There we go. We can have a look at the chart for the standard terminal arrival route. Yeah, it doesn't work wonderfully here, does it? We're better off doing this outside of the simulator. It's even pausing the sim when it's trying to render. It's doing too much work. We're expecting wonders from it, and it's really pushing what it's capable of doing. So we'll look over here instead. Okay, what I'm really interested in is, yeah, flight level 180 XFAT. So we're going to start descending shortly before Abner. and we need to get to 180, so that we can actually check our maths there. So 20,000 feet we'll have to, what was it, 80? We're at 38 at the moment, so we need to lose 20,000 feet, so that'll take 60 miles. No, more than that even. No, 60 miles, yeah, of course it is, yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we get on.
Paris Control, Speedbird 590, flight level 320.
Speedbird 590, bonsoir.
What's the weather going to be like over London? I think it's fairly clear over London this evening. We can find out looking in Navigraph actually. So if we close off the approach, and then we'll go and say we want to see the weather, and we want to see it at, say, 5. Oh, there's a little bit of mist around 7,000 feet, but not over Heathrow, and we're going past Heathrow and coming back, remember. Let's go and make sure if we come right down low. Yeah, there's nothing. It's going to be clear. Nothing for us to worry about anyway. There's some cloud out over the Atlantic. There's some cloud out over northern Europe and Eastern Europe, but nothing. Nothing we need to worry about. So we're just coming over the top of Paris, I think. Yeah, we've just already passed over Paris, okay. So we need to get ready to start descending in a few minutes. Let's see how clever the co-pilot is. Hi Amanda, when do you think we should begin our descent?
We'll start our descent in about 4 minutes, Jonathan. Almost time to get ready for London.
Yeah, look, about a minute before Abner, which is just what we were planning. So we'll announce to ATC we're beginning our descent, and they'll probably give us an altitude to descend to. But we're looking for 180, aren't we?
352, identified.
For the entry into the Star, the standard terminal arrival route. Need to keep an eye on the airspeed as we descend, because it will climb. But we'll be looking to pull the throttles almost back to idle if we can. So according to what Amanda said, about a minute before we are arriving at the next waypoint.
I'm 073, descend via Aliso 1 Hotel, the flight level 070 into Heathrow.
There we go. Descend via the LS1 Hotel Star to flight level 070 into Heathrow, Pan Am 073.
Transatlantic 249. Contact message control on the 125.0. Au revoir.
So we're going to begin descending. We need to get to, remember he's said via the procedure. So we need to follow the rules of the procedure. This is where little Navigraph isn't so good and where Navigraph is much better, because we can pull up the procedure. And we can see, okay, it's got out to a lasso here, but it's not to scale. The procedure starts there, but we'll already need to be descending to get to flight level 180 at ETVAX. Okay, so we'll target 180 here. And we're going to go slightly early on purpose.
Service control, speedbird 544 kilo, flight level 310 for flight level 320.
Speedbird 544 kilo, notified.
And we'll turn off altitude hold and we'll push the nose down and we'll pull the throttles back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have left our cruising altitude and have started our approach to London Heathrow Airport. Please return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seat belts. The use of the lavatories is now not allowed. Thank you for your cooperation.
So we're dropping at 3,000 feet a minute for the moment. And if we go and have a look, we can cheat slightly. So you can see here, look, we're coming down. We came out early, and we're going much more steeply than we need to. So we can go fix that. Go back to 2,000 feet a minute, and we can see, look, we're going to make a... We're trying to cut across and hit XFAT at 180. Because we started descending a little bit early. What we can also do on the way is go and check the weather at Heathrow in here. So open airports, go to the weather, and hectopascals, 1018 hectopascals, 30 inches, 22 centigrade. It's a lovely warm evening in London. So yeah, we've got another trick there from Island Flyer. Divide glide slope by 2 and add a decimal place to get an idea of the rate of descent needed. There's all sorts of maths tricks you can do that, to do fast mental arithmetic for aviation purposes. So I'm going to increase the throttles slightly. I want to hold 250 knots. It could come down faster, but that gives us an advantage when we get to 10,000 feet that we don't have to do anything because we're already at 250. Should have looked from outside.
Speedbird 544 kilo, continue descent to flight level 260.
Descending flight level 260, Speedbird 544 kilo.
Let's turn the head tracking on so I can see what's going on. Yeah, we're just lining up on the next leg. So we've just made the turn at Abner. So we're looking for 180 XFAT. We can see here if we're going to do it, we're going to do it easily, look. Still holding 250 knots, looking good. See the coast of France disappearing underneath of us as we go out across the channel. Let's get this off the tablet. We don't need this here, do we? We can see this here, look.
Over to wings control on 121.075 to just 5 over backtrack.
So there's the English Channel out in front of us. There's England, southeast coast of England out over there. There's the Thames, a little bit further up. being a bit paranoid and checking around everything. Let's go and get the, we've got a few minutes in the descent, so let's go and get 09 left, which was our original runway. Whether we get this is another matter, but 110.3, 88 degrees, so 110.3, let's go and get that tuned in. They've just confirmed it.
Have you got information, Papa?
We have information, Papa, expecting the ILS runway 9 left approach into Heathrow, Pan Am 073. So 110.3. We've just tuned in to the nav computer, so that will set the HSI. So when we change the source over to localizer on approach, it should be good, and then we'll get the needles showing if we're on the glide path or not. It's a lovely clear night though, so we'll probably be able to see the pappies anyway.
Lufthansa, 3 Victor Tango, contact process control on 125.0. Au revoir.
Switching to 125.0, Lufthansa 3 Victor Tango.
Oh, of course you meant ground speed, sorry. I'm being a bit brainless there, Island Flyer. I was thinking, what does GS mean? And my brain went completely blank. So Thomas is saying, as a kid we flew from Tulsa to London via JFK on Pan Am. We would land at Heathrow and get a cab to Maidenhead. I am not far from Maidenhead. I live about 6 miles, 7 miles away, where my dad taught petroleum engineering consulting at the Crest Hotel. Oh my word. Isn't it a small world? I live about 5 or 6 miles away from Maidenhead. That's mad.
Speedbird 68 at flight level 380.
Speedbird 638. Identified.
Okay, let's go and have a little cheaty look at little nav map. Let's go and reduce our descent rate. We don't need to be coming down quite this steep to hit 180. I think the weather might have just changed in the simulator, which is why, or we've come down through a temperature layer maybe in the air, and the airplane got a bit of a wiggle on.
Speedbird 338, climb to flight level 280. Report level.
Climbing flight level 280, Speedbird 338.
Okay, we're still descending. We're getting there. I'm going to open the throttle slightly. We're getting a bit slow because I reduced the descent rate, remember.
Looking, Speedbird 338.
It doesn't want to speed up, does it? I'm inching the throttles further and further forwards. You can see the flight director's doing some hard work up here, scooting around all over the place.
London Control, Emirates 4, flight level 160, climbing flight level 2 minus 100.
Speed us up a bit. This is getting a bit silly that it's not wanting to accelerate. Of course, we're coming down into the thicker air. I'd forgotten that. So obviously air gets thicker, more thrust required to hold the same speed. see XVAT coming now, and we are just coming down through 21,500 feet. XVAT based on this is about 4 minutes now.
756, contact Paris Control on 135.55. Over to Paris Control on 135.55, Speedbird 756.
Come back off the power a bit. Yeah, because of that, it's because of the speed differential. It's having a bit of a job descending enough. So let's go a bit more. That's it. The speed back to 250 knots on the way down, so we don't have any work to do when we get to 10,000 feet.
When ready, descend to flight level 200.
So we should be able to see out in front of us London appearing through the mist. Heathrow is not in London though, it's to the southwest of London. Gatwick is to the south of London. Okay, I'm just watching and watching and watching at the moment to make sure that everything works as it should.
Air India 2016, flight level 230 for flight level 240. Air India 2016, good evening.
So there's XVAT coming after Rotno. And we are on target to get to, we're 1,000 feet away from 18. We're almost 250 knots as well, so I might start to increase the power slightly. You see London coming in the distance. You're going to see a lot more air traffic as well. We can actually make it look a lot busier.
Pan 073, contact Heathrow radar on 125.625.
Contacting Heathrow radar 126.625, Pan Am 073. I think it might have got the frequency wrong. Let's just double check that. London Heathrow 126. It's not one of the listed frequencies either. Yeah, he said 125, and then that's interesting. It read it back wrong. I read it back right. Anyway, Heathrow radar, Pan Am 073 with you, flight level 180.
Pan Am 073, Heathrow radar identified. Good evening.
So if we go and look at Navigraph, our next descent target, max 250 knots, here we go, look. And we need to be 7,000 feet by the time we get to the Biggin Hill VOR. And after that will be vectors, I would imagine. So let's go 7,000.
London Control, Speedbird 915 at flight level 210.
Speedbird 915 identified.
Take altitude, hold off, push the nose down again, and then let's get the power back up because we've slowed down because we leveled out obviously. And let's go downhill a bit more steeply than that. That's more like it. We can zoom in on this so we can get a better view of it. So we're looking to get to begin at 7,000 feet, which we're on track for at the moment. I don't want to accelerate too much more. We want to be 250 knots all the way in now. So we'll try to judge this. I'm just watching that speed needle climbing relentlessly. I think we've just about caught it.
Nordic 83 Golf, contact Dutch Mill Center on 118.805. Good evening.
So at 10,000 feet we will need to go and turn the landing lights on.
805, Nordic 83 Golf.
And I believe, is it 6,000 feet for the transition level around here? Let's go and have a look. Should be up at the top corner here somewhere. Transition level, we want transition altitude though. It'd be on the ILS plan, won't it? Which I've not gone and programmed. That was clever of me. 9 left. Select ILS 9 left, add to route. Let's pull up the ILS chart and that will have it 6,000 feet. There we go. So we're just coming in towards Biggin at the moment. We need to be 7,000 feet at Biggin, according to the plan. And there's Biggin coming. We are descending, probably not quickly enough by the look of it. No, we're not, look.
Air India 2016, climb to flight level 280.
Climb flight level 280, Air India 2016.
It's much more fun in these old planes, isn't it? You don't just hit VNAV and let go and let it get on with it. You have to kind of keep an eye on your constraints and the aeroplane configuration and watch it all the way down. And obviously I'm cheating slightly by looking at the glide path on Little Nav Map. In the real world you'd have to be good at the mental arithmetic to do this. Or looking at where you are, where you need to go, how far you've got, what your descent rate needs to be for that closing distance. So, Thomas is also mentioning Train Sim World. I have kept away from train sims so far. My YouTube channel thus far has all been Flight Simulator. I have done nothing around trains, and I know nothing about trains. I don't know if anybody has seen, there's a wonderful young guy on YouTube that has recorded several videos where he's gone and visited the US and seen some of the biggest steam trains and got massively excited seeing them, and it's such a pure kind of innocent, I don't know, hopeful and happy YouTube channel. It's fantastic.
Air India 2016, traffic 2 o'clock and 8 miles, crossing left to right, and Airbus 320, flight level 330.
Excuse me.
Negative contact, we have him on TCAS, Air India 2016.
So Paradisky saying the same thing, yeah. The older airliners, they keep you busy. And you really need to be on it the whole time. So we can see Biggin's coming, 2 minutes, 10 miles to descend several thousand more feet. So let's go a bit steeper. I'm not allowed to pull the throttles all the way back that far, so I'm going to have to resort to spoilers to get the speed back to 250 knots.
Radar services terminated. Foxtrot, Oscar, Lima Golf, November. Change to advisory frequency approved. Squawk conspicuity.
Radar services terminated.
Minute and a half. We're descending pretty quickly. I'm not sure we're going to get to 7,000 feet in time, but we'll see how we go. I got busy talking, didn't I? Oh no, we're actually we're looking okay. We'll just be a little bit wide of the mark, but good enough. Speed is coming down to 250. We're looking good. So who are we actually talking to again? It's Heathrow Radar.
Out of flight level 200 for flight level 240, Virgin 449.
240.
Heathrow radar, Pan Am 073 approaching Big Inn, requesting vectors for the runway 9 left approach for Heathrow.
Arrive at the gate. Kindly return your tray tables to their upright positions and make sure your seat belts are fastened.
40 seconds to make 2,000 feet.
Currently 24 degrees Celsius and clear skies.
I think we'll be okay.
Our assigned gate is Terminal 2B, gate 246 left. Thank you for flying with us today.
Pan Am. Heathrow radar didn't hear us, did they? Heathrow radar, Pan Am 073 with you, approaching Big Inn, requesting vectors for runway 9 left approach into Heathrow.
Pan Am 073, turn left heading 280, vectors for the ILS runway 9 left approach. Speed below 220 knots.
Turn left. Turn left 280 for vectors for runway 9 left approach into Heathrow. Pan Am 073.
Pan Am 073, you're already on vectors for the ILS runway 09 left approach. Continue heading 280.
Continuing heading 280, Pan Am 073. So he told us
073, fly heading 278, descend altitude 6,000.
Descending altitude 6,000, flying heading 278, Pan Am 073. I'm getting way too slow. And turn this off, push this down.
Pan Am 073, turn left heading 280.
Turning left heading 280, Pan Am 073. So we can go localizer mode. So this will now reflect the course of the runway. We need to put 90 degrees on the runway, don't we, on the course. So let's go spin that round.
Air India 2016, descend to flight level 260.
Okay, why won't it let me? That's on localizer. Oh, I need to do it down here, don't I? Probably? No. Oh, the flight director needs to be put back onto VOR lock, I guess. Why won't it let me turn the course? That's weird. 110.3, it's got EGLL 9 left, that's all picked up okay. Very weird. Did they give us a speed? No, they didn't, not yet. But we're flying 280, which is what they told us to do.
Version 449, climb to flight level 280, report level. Pan Am 073, turn left heading 280.
Turning left 280, Pan Am 073. I thought we were 280, but there we go. Oh, no, we're 10 degrees off, aren't we? That'd be why they keep telling us. So does that mean we're a bit too close to London? Oh, it's going to be a tight turn now, isn't it, because of that? Although, what are they doing?
073, descend 6,000.
Are we not at 6,000 already? Already at 6,000 feet, Pan Am 073. Which means we are... Oh, we need to get the landing lights on as well. I'm a bit behind the curve now, aren't I?
Pan Am 073, speed 190 knots.
Speed 190 knots, Pan Am 073. So we need to check the spoilers out. Why is the course not working? That's what I want to know. It's locking. But anyway, we don't really need to know that. Well, he says as we descend into cloud and can't see a thing. So speed is coming off. we go, flaps 13.
Pan Am 073, turn left, heading 250.
Turn left, 250, Pan Am 073.
195 knots, 7 flaps, 25.
So they're going to turn it into a diamond, basically.
449,
they'll do that.
Flight level 220, pilot's discretion.
Leaving flight level 260 for flight level 220, Virgin 449.
Don't let it get too slow. We want 190, wasn't it? Let's have a look outside. Don't need the flaps anymore. The spoilers, I should say. Keep an eye on the speed. There we go. So there's Heathrow. So we're going to fly a diamond shape and come in on the approach in a moment. And rely on the SayIntentions controllers to vector us into the approach. The annoying thing is I can't figure out, or not at the moment I can't, why we can't move the course. Oh, is it stuck? Okay, now we're this side of the airport. Look, it's gone to the runway direction. It's done it itself because it's the ILS. That makes sense. If we go and check, I bet it's 88 degrees if you look really closely at it. There it is. Yeah, that makes sense. So the reason it was showing 270 before is because we were this side of the airport. Every day's a school day. I will find the
London
YouTube
Control, Shuttle
channel
12 uniform with you at flight level 250.
of the guy that
Shuttle 12 uniform identified.
follows trains, and he's absolutely brilliant to watch. I've never seen anybody that makes everybody smile so much. His name is Francis Bourgeois, and he's one of his best videos.
073, turn right heading 270.
Turn right heading 270, 073. One of his best videos is a short on YouTube where he saw, now what's it called, I have to get this right, the 4014 Big Boy in the US.
2016, descend to flight level 180.
Which is one of the biggest steam trains.
Down to flight level 180, Air India 2016.
But yeah, Francis Bourgeois is fantastic. He's just such an he has such infectious enthusiasm. You would think when you first see him that he would get picked on, but nobody does. And everybody just enjoys that he enjoys whatever he's doing as much as he does. It is brilliant. Kind of a lesson to everybody else to really, you know, have no shame about what you enjoy doing or whatever your hobby is, because he is fantastic. Okay, we're now flying, obviously. I wonder if they'll bring us in onto an intercept angle then now onto the approach. Although we're going for the other side, aren't we? 9 left. So this is working.
073, turn right heading 045.
Turn right 045, Pan Am 073. That's exactly what we just talked about.
Shuttle 12 uniform, climb flight level 280.
Flight level 280, Shuttle 12 uniform.
So we're still doing 190 knots. So yeah, his video watching the big boy comes past is absolutely brilliant. There's another train that comes past alongside it that spins its wheels. I forget what its name is because I'm not a train aficionado, but his reaction to it and how loud it is as it's, you know, putting the power through the cylinders is just incredible. So we're now on an intercept angle to pick up the approach. I'm amazed.
2016, descend to flight level 160.
Are they not going to tell us to descend?
Descending flight level 160, Air India 2016.
I'm going to descend. I know we need to be down there a lot lower than we are. They're probably expecting it.
Panam 073, turn left heading 030, descend 3000 until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 09, a left approach.
Turning left 030 degrees, descending 3000 feet, and we'll let you know when we are on the localizer, Panam 073. So they're bringing us in at a sharper angle onto the... So I'm going to go and pull our speed back, push our nose down.
Etihad 88 Charlie, descend to flight level 150.
At a flight level 180 for flight level 150, Etihad 88 Charlie.
So we're down to 5,000 feet.
Localizer alive.
And there's the localizer, so... Where are we on the map? Yeah, we just shot through it. I'm going to go manual. I wasn't quick enough off the mark there, but we can fix it. That's the wrong way. Gears down.
1,000 to go.
We overshot the localizer spectacularly. Let's get the air tracking working. There we go.
Air India 2016.
We're getting an autopilot disengage, which is absolutely true. We did disengage it.
Flight level 310, Air India 2016.
Localizer alive.
Here comes the localizer. We should get the right slope in a moment.
3, contact Heathrow Tower on 124.48.
Contacting Heathrow Tower 124.48, Panam 073. Heathrow Tower, Panam 073 on localizer runway 09 left.
Panam 073, Heathrow Tower, roger. Cleared to land runway 09 left, winds 040 at 6.
Clear to land runway 09 left, copy weather, Panam 073.
Panam 073, speed 160 till 4 nautical miles.
Light slope, light slope, light slope, light slope, light slope.
We're a bit low.
Light slope, light slope.
Copy speed 073.
Light slope, light slope. Light slope, light slope, light slope, light slope, light slope, light slope.
They're complaining at us for being low. I'm just getting a bit of saturation here of too many things to do at once. With an unfamiliar aeroplane, saturation is such a common thing where you get behind the aeroplane. It doesn't help talking at the same time, to be honest, and talking about trains and things when I should have really been focusing, but there we are. Prove some human.
100. 50.
TAM 8085, contact departure. Safe travels.
10.
Departure TAM 8085, see ya.
Clear to takeoff for runway 7 on the right, Austin 471.
Spoilers up.
Something's loading in the background and really making the simulator stutter. The ground hasn't loaded, has it? The scenery, or the server, yeah, it's just loaded, look. The servers are having a bit of a nightmare. That's what was causing the stuttering. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to London. Did you know that London is home to the world's oldest underground railway system, known as the Tube? We appreciate you flying with us today. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until we reach our final parking position.
1 Air 711, holding short of 9 right, ready to go.
Thank you for flying with us.
Rowan Air 711, wind 020 at 8, runway 9 right, cleared for takeoff. Have a good flight.
Did I manage to turn the strobes off?
Clear takeoff, 9 right, Rowan Air 711.
I need to go and contact ground, don't I? Heathrow ground, Pan Am 073 requesting taxi to the gates, please. So if we go and have a look on Navigraph, so you get to see this.
Pan Am 073, taxi to Terminal 2B Gate 246L via Alpha Lima. Good day.
Taxi to Terminal 2B Gate 246L via Alpha and Lima. Pan Am 073, good day. So, Terminal 2. 2A, we want 2B though. Terminal 2B is over here. Okay, we can play a bit of a game here. Hi Amanda, can you pull up the parking spot diagram for London Heathrow, please?
Sure, the chart's on screen for you.
There we go. 2B, and we want 246 left, which is around the back. There. So we need to go... So notice this is a bit of a shame that it doesn't have... we'll pin that so we keep it. So we need to come around the back. So we have just come off here. We're going to go across here onto Bravo. Oh, via Alpha and Lima. So they want us to turn immediately left and stay on until Lima. Okay.
Sri Lankan 504 ready for push.
Sri Lankan 504, pushback approved.
Roger, pushback approved. Sri Lankan
This is
504.
Kilo. There's Terminal 2. And we're going down the back of it.
33 contact tower on 124.48.
Tower, 333.
So all of these airplanes you can see are being injected by SayIntentions, and all of the conversations you can hear between them and the ground is SayIntentions as well. Let's get the flaps up while we are taxiing in. So I'm slowly getting better at flying the 707. Obviously, it's practice makes perfect, and I tend to do my practicing in front of a studio audience, which is often quite sobering. And I get distracted easily, as you have seen this evening.
Zulu contact tower on 124.48.
But we saved it.
To tower, Golf Delta Mike Oscar Zulu.
We want, let me just turn the head tracking off for a moment. We wanted 246 left, didn't we? 248, 247. Right. 246 left. Here we are.
Sri Lankan 504 ready to taxi.
Sri Lankan 504, taxi to holding point runway 9 right via Hotel Alpha, November 10.
Taxi to holding point runway 9 right via Hotel Alpha, November 10, Sri Lankan 504.
Parking brake on. So, can we get external power here? I think in the simulator you have to do this via the comms panel, don't you? Because this is one of the Asobo licensed aeroplanes. You have to use their toys to do things. So, Com1. We don't want to do any of that. We want to go to ground services. And then we want to request the power supply attached to the aeroplane, please.
Golf Victor Oscar Foxtrot Romeo.
And then once it's possible,
right via link 41.
Yeah,
Sierra,
it's connected
Sierra
over
1,
here. Look, so we can go onto ground power.
Taxi to holding point runway 9 right via link 41, Sierra 1, hold short of runway 27 left, Golf Victor Oscar Foxtrot Romeo.
Bohai 7966 contact tower on 124.48.
And then once we've done that, we can actually we should turn taxi light off first. And then we can go and turn the engines off.
Charlie 6690, cross runway 9 right.
Hi cabin crew, you can let the passengers go now.
6690.
Cabin is ready for deboarding, Captain.
Okay, can we get the jet bridge? I guess it will have to spin round though. It's on the wrong side of the airplane, really, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at
Should we
London
try it?
Heathrow Airport. You may now disembark the aircraft. Thank you for flying with
So,
us today, and we hope to see you again soon.
Request baggage catering. No, it's the wrong way round, isn't it? So you can't just go and get the jet bridge, which is a bit annoying. It's a bit of a bug in the sim. It's much better on the Inibuilds aircraft where you can control it all via the tablet, but you can't do it in this one, I don't think. There's no controls about ground services as such, which is a shame, really, because that solves a lot of those problems. Anyway, there we go. But we proved this evening, yeah, the HSI was working. I was too busy talking about trains to notice the localizer was upon us. But other than that, everything went fine. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the flight this evening. That was a quick flight, well, I say quick, hour-and-a-half flight over from Nice to London Heathrow.
Malaysian 1 request pushback.
And showing you some of the challenges of flying these older
Malaysian 1
airplanes.
push approved.
We had SayIntentions running in the background,
Malaysian
which
1.
has been providing all of these wonderful airplanes and the voices on the radios. And we also, to get the flight started, I'll load it back up one more time to show people. We
China
go
Eastern
to
552,
Google
cross
Drive,
runway 9 right.
and I'll show you the original.
Cross 9 right, China Eastern 552.
There is a link in the notes of the video to show you this. This is the written procedure that I followed to get the airplane up and running. I need to go and revise it slightly. I noticed I had a bit of duplication in here that I need to go fix. But other than that, yeah, it takes you through absolutely everything you need to do to get the airplane up and running. So I'm going to go and have a look at that right now and see if I can tidy it up a bit more. I went longhand in here, showing you each engine in turn with everything you need to do. I think I may turn that into just one example and just tell you the orders through the engines. So that would probably be a lot easier. Anyway, I'll post about that a bit later on. Thank you ever so much if you've been watching along. I'll see you all again soon. Take care.
Kilo Bravo, Kilo Bravo.